Hello, Stephen Koukoulas here, Economist in residence with Zagga, and a little bit of good news. We've had the RBA trimming interest rates again, another 25-point rate reduction, the third since the start of the year. So we're getting to the point now where the cumulative effect of each of these 25-point rate cuts is now getting to something a bit more substantial. Now, each 25-point cut's important, of course it is, but it's really this cumulative effect that the Reserve Bank's looking for to put a bit of a floor under economic growth, to sort of see a bit more positivity occurring in the economy, and to ensure that the unemployment rate doesn't edge up too much. So that's what the RBA is doing. Now, they were very cautious in terms about the outlook for further cuts. Data dependent, I think, is a term that we could use to assess whether we're going to get more rate cuts. But if the inflation rate stays low, and if a little bit of a worry, the unemployment rate creeps a little bit higher, then more rate cuts are certainly on offer between now and the end of the year, and certainly the first half of 2026. And that's exactly what the markets have got priced in. Another couple of rate cuts between now and early 2026. So in terms of the hard data, it's also been generally good news. The inflation result confirmed that inflation's well within the RBA target range, and that momentum on the annual run rate, if we can call it that, on inflation suggests that we're going to be seeing both headline and the trimmed mean, the underlying inflation measure, give or take around the midpoint of the target band. That's good news. That's partly why the RBA is cutting. We've had a pickup in building approvals, that very volatile on a month-to-month basis. It had a couple of down months, it's had a couple of up months, but more recently we've actually seen a fresh 3.5-year high for the number of new building approvals coming through. So a combination of the housing shortage, the changes to the rules and regulations about zoning, although as everybody listening to this knows, it's still a cumbersome process. But to give a little bit of credit to the government, they're now fast-tracking the approval process with state and local government authorities as well. So we could be in for a pretty decent next couple of years, that's the housing cycle, in terms of new construction. House prices continuing to edge higher, no boom, but moving higher because of the shortages still, and perhaps a little bit of affordability issues coming with the rate cuts impacting the borrowing capacity of people. Even retail spending and consumer sentiment, they ticked up a little bit in the most recent readings. And again, I want to see a few more months to be confident that it's the start of a more positive trend for consumer spending, but it does look to be forming a little bit of an upside momentum, which is good news. The only dampener, I suppose, we can put on the data in the last month has been the unemployment rate. It's crept up to 4.3%. Again, its highest level in about 3.5 years. The job vacancies and job ad series are still a little bit weaker, so it suggests to me that the unemployment rate will creep a bit higher over coming months, but at this stage, nothing catastrophic. We might get to 4.5%, but hopefully not much more than that. So in a summary position for everybody at Zagga is that it's generally good news. Rate cuts are coming through. Economic activity is starting to look a little bit better than it was at the start of the year. Rate cuts will certainly provide a little bit of a boost to activity as they work their way through the system. And if the RBA is confident that inflation's slap bang on target, it may well deliver a couple more rate cuts over the next 6 to 9 months, which again would be just really reinforcing the better news that we're seeing. So I'm looking forward to catching up with everybody at Zagga and all the clients there to discuss these issues in the not too distant future. So a little bit of positivity. It's nice to see, isn't it? Thanks.